Alright, hello and welcome back to That Garden Life, where I show you our garden transformation. If you're new here, my name is Mihaela. I make weekly videos about motherhood and lifestyle, and I also have this weekend series where I show you how we're transforming our garden. Last week in episode 10, I showed you how we finished the secret garden and the entrance to the secret garden, which means that now in episode 11, the work that remains is pretty much all to do with the side garden. This week, the team had the job of finishing the planters for the side garden and also taking care of any last minute finishing touches. So on Monday, Terry, Ian and Tom arrived to fit in the planters. This was a relatively easy task because the previous week, Terry had spent cutting the wood so it would fit perfectly. So all they had to do was just assemble it into place. Now we did deviate from the original plan a little bit that we had in our vision video, and that was because here in front of the kitchen window we wanted to leave a little bit of space to add a table and some chairs for a break to take at the end of a very hard day of gardening and pottering about. We've got some deck furniture that we bought a while ago from IKEA, so we're gonna put some chairs and a little table here to create a little vignette. Now the more arduous task this week was actually bringing in soil into these planters. You probably wouldn't believe it, but these planters take up a lot of soil, 4 tons to be more exact, so the boys had to wheelbarrow all of the soil into each and every one of the planters. By the end of the day, the side garden looked really lovely. We realized we maximized the space that we had available, but also the sun that is cast on this part of the garden throughout the day. Good morning, it's Monday, what is it, 9th of August? Building the planters, looking good. I'm gonna show you one now. One has already been built and I think it's gonna go pretty fast. They also need to do the pointing for the topper on the wall, the retaining wall.
Hello.
Splinter?
No. What are you doing again?
I nearly swore him.
I nearly swore I can't see that camera.
Don't worry, I put nice music on top.
Oh, that's alright.
Hello. It's Monday afternoon and it feels like the job is almost done, at least in terms of the hardscaping. The planters are in the side garden, half of them are filled with topsoil. We are ordering more topsoil because they do eat up a lot of soil. The boys went around and cleaned the brick and the pointing, just making sure it's all very clean and smooth. And that's it. Kind of feels like we're getting close to the end. Someone's happy. This week they're definitely finishing filling in the planters with soil, and the plants are hopefully coming on Thursday. Tuesday, the team was here to take care of some finishing touches. For example, Ian took out this wood that was separating the lawn from the side of the lawn. We're now planning to have lawn all the way to the fence or very close to it. We're still deciding. And also in the front, Terry was building the side panels. I can't remember what these wood panels actually looked like. I'll try and find some footage, but I know they weren't very attractive. So somewhere in between all the tasks that had to be done in the front garden, we said, let's just chuck this and rebuild new ones because it would be relatively inexpensive. So Terry spent Tuesday building these side panels, which now look really nice. team actually finished on Tuesday, but it was on Thursday that we got a very exciting delivery. This is the plant order that we got from Johnson's of Wixley. In last week's episode, I showed you that this is a huge wholesaler of plants. Now, unsurprisingly, the weather on Thursday was very unwelcoming. It was raining and it was just Garrett and the employee from Johnson's basically unloading all of these crates of plants. I was around, I couldn't really help much. I was filming, but I was carrying Harper at the same time. I have to say that even with the plants in pots, the garden was really starting to come to life. The plants have arrived from Johnson's and we're very happy. Aren't we happy? We're so happy. We're just unloading them. Lots of plants in here. They look so good. Oh, and these are the hedges. I'll show you now. Nice. Hedges. They look so good. Slow progress. Fortunately, we can't help more than just be here, enjoying the sunshine. Not. What are we thinking of all these plants, Harper? They're so pretty. So pretty, the plants. It was really fun to start matching the botanical name and the name on our list to the plants that were in our garden. Now, we spent our whole weekend going back and forth through our lists, googling the images of plants and positioning the plants in the space where we wanted them planted. This took a lot of time. It was really kind of a guessing game, trying to figure out a process of elimination, trying to figure out what plants we had. It was a little bit overwhelming at times, and the most frustrating bit is some of the potted plants that came didn't have a tag on them. They didn't have a label to say what they were. So it made our job a lot harder to try to identify what goes where. I'll make a separate video, as I said, about how we chose the plants and how we decided where to put them. But for now, just know that it was effectively a mix between checking our set design and also having a bit of a play around with what looked good on site. There's no fixed recipe or formula. It was a little bit of a mix. We had a rough guide, a rough estimation, and then we also let our imagination run wild a little bit. Now, the back garden and the secret garden were entirely positioned and ready to be planted. We left the front garden for next week when the team would come plant them, just because we didn't want to leave the plants outside for so many days. Overall, this was a fun process, but I think it took roughly 5 times longer because we had to do it with Harper and we had to find very creative ways of keeping her entertained. And I probably was doing 5 things at a time at once. I was looking at the list, entertaining her, singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, taking footage with the camera, and it was raining at the time when we were doing this, so it wasn't very helpful. But in the end, I think the garden looked really, really beautiful, and we could really see how it would come to life with all the plants that we had chosen. Wow, so bright. Hello, hello, hello. It is Saturday today, the 15th of August. We're using the Ergo Baby in the forward-facing motion position. Today, we are sorting the plants into categories. Secret garden, back garden, front garden. And we're just placing them on the ground as they're about to be planted. Just to see if we have enough plants, because if we don't, we might have to go buy some more. I love this. Yes, thumbs up. There was a lot of research done in terms of conditions they thrive in and the soil, although we did put so much topsoil that anything can grow. But yes, let the work begin. So where are we going to put these plants? Should I put that there? What do you think? Yeah.
They're gonna go up
What do
there.
we want to see? Like, when we
And this is gonna go crazy, right?
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea to work that way. Typ där det fick vara. Ja, om det är 1, so 3 in all.
I mean, how we do?
Peekaboo! Yeah, 3 over there. And just 2 maybe, 2. It's reindeer, reindeer. You would even say it. Used to laugh and call him names.
I think that's good. Because these guys get really bushy.
Which ones?
The little ones, they don't look like much now, but they're gonna get bushy. That's thorny. Ah! Poke my eye out. How are you feeling about the garden?
Good. We're making a lot of progress in terms of
Progresso?
learning where to plant things, how much space they need around them. Already looks so much better even though they're not even planted.
It does.
So excited to see them grow. But we still have so many more plants. The last thing we did was to create a front patio in the front garden, and for this we used the stepping stones that we originally had in the secret garden and also some of the remaining driving blocks. Garrett got out there in the rain and applied his newly picked up skills from observing the team over the last 4 weeks and digging out a portion of the soil and then leveling it out. Now, we didn't really like the look of the base stones, so Garrett decided to paint them using the same stain that he had used for the wood. Well, turns out the rain washed it out, but in the end the effect was better and they have a weathered look to them, which we like. So that's it for this week. Come back next week to see the garden planted. We have a little bit more work to do before the final reveal and the final episode because we're still waiting for our gates, which will come and be installed by the end of the month. Do let me know in the comments below what you think of the transformation. I've been really enjoying documenting this process and sharing impressions with those who have been watching it. Thanks a lot for watching, by the way, and for the likes and comments. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.